So, I'm not here trying to convince anybody of anything, but there is something I've been pondering for quite some time. Well, years actually. The scientists like Neil deGrasse Tyson, other fellows like him, keep telling us that the Earth is spinning on its axis at 1,000 miles an hour. It's fast. Then, the Earth, while it's spinning on its axis, is rotating around the Sun at 67,000 miles an hour. It's even faster. Then the Sun and Earth and all the solar system is zipping across the universe at 500 and plus thousand miles an hour. That's clipping along pretty good. So, if we're going to believe any of that's true, first thing I got to wonder is, how is it possible that for thousands of years, sailors and navigators all over the world have been able to look up at the night sky and circumnavigate the planet with pinpoint accuracy night after night with the stars and the moon and the sun using them as guides? If everything in the universe is like you grabbed a handful of rocks and flung it so that it just sprayed everywhere and it's expanding as it's going randomly, how is it possible that these stars for millennia line up night after night after night, and that regardless, for years, I've been able, regardless of the night, for years, as long as it's clear, I'm able to point my camera straight up. I've done it many times. Click the shutter open, just leave it open, and I get, night after night, the exact same image of the stars going in a perfect circle. Same stars, same circle, every time I do it. They haven't moved an inch. Ancient artifacts that were lined up with different constellations, hundreds and thousands, hundreds or thousands of years ago, not necessarily hundreds of thousands of years ago, still line up perfectly with the stars that they were meant to line up with. Yet everything is flying randomly through Earth, through space rather. The Earth and the Sun and the solar system is just flying through the universe, and everything is expanding, flying further apart from each other, in a constant state of entropy, and yet everything still lines up, night after night after night. You can still go take a sextant, if you know how to use one, and travel pretty much anywhere in the globe and land there within a few hundred meters of where you need to be, if you know what you're doing. How is that possible? That just doesn't make any sense to me. And if the Earth is rotating at 1,000 miles an hour, clockwise, so west to east, how can an aircraft, say in North America, that flies 350 or 400 miles an hour, 500 miles an hour, depending on altitude, how could it fly to England if the Earth is spinning in that direction faster than the plane is flying? Anyway, I guess it's just something that I've been pondering for a long time. I have my own ideas on it. I guess you'll have to figure out your own ideas on it yourself. But, something doesn't ring true here. And I know, bullshit when I'm being fed it. I know what it tastes like. I've been fed a lot of bullshit in my life. And somewhere in there's some bullshit. So, anyway, I know that if I pick up a handful of rocks and I fling them, that every millisecond that, if I was able to stop them, every millisecond that they travel through the air, their alignment would be different than a millisecond before. And if you take a random bunch of planets and fling them through the universe, it's doubtful, just the odds are pretty much zero, that they would ever line up from one moment to the next, especially traveling at the speeds that they're supposed to be traveling. At 1,000 miles an hour, you would think somebody on this planet would be motion sick. But that aside, what do you think? Cheers.